just gonna be a pain. Woo. We're trying. Okay. So I might have to sit through this scene again, and that's fine. It's my fault for still having blue screen somehow. Oh. Valheim is like Valheim, probably. Returned, Your Majesty. I'm glad to see you again. You may rise. So, how is the temple? Is the Priestess of Water safe? The forces that attacked the Temple of Water were not of Valheim. They were led by a man named Limray. He and Leia, the Priestess of Water, seem to know each other, and... What's the matter, Fazz? You must tell me what happened. Go on. Leia was killed by Limray's troops. What? I see. I'm sorry. If only I was able to stop Limray. Fazz, did Leia tell you anything? Like Marselva, for example? Leia said something about entrusting me with the Marselva. She said something else too, but all I can make out were my name and Iksha. And then she turned into Marselva. I see. Leia left you the Marselva. Who are you? Okay. I'm gonna save a state here if it's gonna possibly fail. My name is Luke. Nice to meet you. He's the authority on the Ikshan legends, especially the legend of King Sarnas. He currently works for me as an advisor. The authority on the Ikshan legends? Luke, I need your advice. Lately I've been hearing things related to the legends, like Iksha and Marselva, and that this continent is about to be destroyed. And please tell me, what do I have to do with Iksha? Everybody keeps on saying, Iksha this, Iksha that. No, you need to calm down, Fazz. Do you know what the Marselva are? Yes, but just a little. I heard the elemental spirits are sustaining the continent of Mardius, and using the Marselva will bring about the destruction of Mardius. What's all this about? I don't understand at all. Marselva is a vessel for holding a vast amount of the elemental spirit's power. You can think of it as a large coin. Okay. And how's it related to the destruction of this continent? Do you know that Mardius is sustained by the power of the spirits? Yes, I heard from Sulfatus, the priest of wind. The continent of Mardius, the blue earth, is falling as we speak. Coin Fame is an act of releasing the power of the spirits bound within a metal called manatite. However, the released power cannot be returned to the earth, and there's a finite amount of the spirit's power. Some of the power, of course, is created and consumed naturally, but the balance is now upset by the use of coin fames in war. This continent is falling as the result, however slightly it may be at this point. Now, if the immense power of the spirits bound within the Marselva is to be released, the balance will be completely lost, and that will most likely destroy Mardius. But, on the other hand, if the power of the Marselva can be controlled, it is possible to sustain the continent without the elemental spirits. There was a man who tried to accomplish that in the Age of Legends. Who's that? His name was Villa, the creator of the Marselva. What? Are you talking about Villa, the one who destroyed Iksha and tried to conquer Mardius? In the Age of Legends, the elemental spirits and the humans lived in harmony. The elemental spirits had physical form back then, and people were able to see them. Only a few of the spirits had tremendous powers. Most of them were just a little different from humans, more like a subspecies. Mediated by the Hoshigami, individuals with the ability to communicate with the great spirits, the humans and the spirits helped each other. Everybody thought it would last forever. But one day, a group of spirits realized it was none other than their power that sustained the continent of Mardius. And they started threatening the humans. Fear spread among the humans, and harmony began to deteriorate. The Hoshigami and the Great Spirits tried to maintain the harmony, but the spirits' arrogance and the humans' fear toward the spirits had gone beyond their control. It was around that time when Villa, the Hoshigami of Lightning, emerged. He was a genius. He discovered the method of binding and controlling the power of the elemental spirit, which led to the creation of coin fames and the formidable Marselva. Believing that a harmonious coexistence between the humans and the spirits was impossible, he stated that with this new technology, humans could take control of Mardius. People supported him open-handedly at first. Even the Hoshigami who served the great spirits of fire, earth, force, water, and wind agreed that there was no future for mankind and decided to assist him. Villa and the 5 Hoshigami began to bind the power of the spirits to the Marselva, one after the other. The situation had reversed. This time it was the elemental spirits who fled from the humans. However, as the power within the Marselva grew, people began to fear Villa and his ability to control that power. And finally, the kingdom of Iksha and the priestess who served El Villa, the spirit of highest stature, publicly denounced Villa's acts. Iksha and the priestess of El Villa advocated coexistence with the elemental spirits, and declared that Villa posed a threat to both humans and the spirits. Those who supported Villa began to fear him as he accumulated the spirit's power, and eventually they all left him. Being alone and accused by everyone, Villa thought, "Why choose to continue being oppressed by the elemental spirits? What's wrong with creating a land ruled only by humans?" At last, Villa waged war on Iksha with the Marselva and coin fames at his disposal. He destroyed Iksha and became ruler of the continent. To defeat Villa, King Sarnas received El Villa's divine protection and made a pact with the elemental spirits. He agreed to destroy any reference to Marselva and coin fame, their technology, knowledge, and written records, once Villa was defeated. In turn, the spirits agreed to hide themselves from the humans while continuing to sustain the continent. In other words, the humans and the spirits chose to live on their own, avoiding contact with each other. With the help of the remaining elemental spirits, the priestess of El Villa and the Hoshigami who once sided with Villa, King Sarnas defeated Villa and restored Iksha. After the battle, the spirits shed their physical bodies to sustain the continent as promised. King Sarnas built 6 temples in different parts of the continent to store the records regarding Marselva and coin fame, and ordered the Hoshigami to guard them. The clans of priests, the descendants of the Hoshigami, have since guarded the temples, generation after generation, abiding by the law which strictly forbids anyone from tampering with the seals put upon the Marselva. And the 3 organizations, which later became Nightweld, Valheim, and Gerald, were established. Nightweld was assigned to guard La Deleu, capital of Iksha, and the Marselva kept in the Tower of Wind and the Tower of Lightning. Valheim was given the task of watching over the Temple of Fire and the Temple of Earth, while Gerald protected the Temple of Water and the Temple of Force. Well, that's the summary of the legend as it is told today. I know about the legend too. No, not just me, but everybody on this continent. True, if you're talking about the legend told about humans. What was that? Nothing. Anyway, my point is that the Marselva have the power to change the fate of this continent. And the Marselva are the priests themselves. A priest becomes one with the Marselva through what is called the Rite of Heritage. When he senses that his death is near, he chooses from his clan a person who is worthy of becoming the next priest. Then, through the Rite of Heritage, he transfers the Marselva from himself to the next priest. But, in the case where a successor is not found, or the priest meets an unexpected end, the Marselva takes its original form of an orb until the next priest is decided. And that's how the Marselva have been guarded for generations. I learned this from the late Priest of Force, and Leia proved it with her own death. But Sylphatus showed me his Marselva, and it had the shape of an orb. Maybe Sylphatus was not officially made the priest. Perhaps he hasn't undergone the rite of heritage for some reason. Or it could be that he isn't from a clan of priests and was entrusted with the Marselva. Is there something I'm unaware of? Well, I have a clear understanding of the legend now. I learned that the Marselva are dangerous, and using them to sustain the continent can only be achieved at the cost of countless elemental spirits. But what do you want me to do? I'm just a mercenary. There are people who are more suited for the job. You know, like yourself and King Zeldstan. I will do my best to defeat Valheim and eliminate coin fames from Mardius. Starting with you, fork him over. In fact, I've been preparing for this, waiting for the right moment to strike. Then there's no problem. I'll do whatever I can to assist you. Valheim's goal is to conquer and reign over the entire continent. Acquisition of the Marselva is not in their plan. It's very possible they may not have even heard of the Marselva. There are only a small number of people, including the clans of priests, who know of their existence. We're unsure as to who is trying to acquire the Marselva or for what purpose, but it's certain that there is an individual who is working behind the war to acquire the Marselva. And I'm afraid his goal is not the conquest of Mardius, but the fulfillment of the prophecy in the legend. Prophecy of Elvilla. 3,000 years after the pact between the elemental spirits and the humans, the ancient spirit will return and engulf the earth in a great calamity. Behold, he who bears my blood and that of Sarnas will rise from Kersilius. Together with the 6 Hoshigami, he will vanquish the spirit and restore peace to the earth. Yes, I don't know what the line "the ancient spirit will return and engulf the earth in a great calamity" indicates. It couldn't possibly be the face value of the words. Clearly it's some deep mystery. Whether it refers to the destruction of Mardius through the release of the power bound within the Marselva, it is really predicting the return of some elemental spirit, or it points to something different. But my belief is that this individual is planning to cause this quote-unquote great calamity. Following the conclusion of the pact, the priests and the great spirits have taken the role of exchanging information, so they could learn the status of their societies without breaking the pact. However, as time went by, both the pact and the role were forbidden, and in the end, humans started a war by using the forbidden coin fames. Fazz? King Zeldstan is from the clan of the Priest of Force. Because he broke the code and became king, even though it was strongly requested by both the people of Gerald and the former king who was without an heir, the late Priest of Force didn't approve him as the next priest. The late priest entrusted him with the Marselva and the procedure for conducting the rite of heritage, and instructed him to assist the prophesied Kersilian when the time comes. I was there as a witness. That's why I know about the Marselva in detail. Why are you telling me this? Fazz, do you remember your father? Why do you ask me that all of a sudden? I don't remember anything about my father or my mother. Ever since I can remember, I was with Limerick. Now that I think about it, I don't remember much about when I was little. Your father's name was Yeenold. He was a peddler when I first met him, carrying you in his arms. He had an air of dignity and intellect. Didn't we hear about Rodney before? I know, he said, because I remember I saw the word Yeenold, and I'm like, I'm just going to jumble those letters and call him Rodney. Anyway, he had an air of dignity and intellect about him, which was very unusual for a peddler. And above all, he had the features of an ancient Ikshin that I was researching at the time. He was selling these coins that created fire out of nowhere and froze things, and this was before Valheim started the war. Do you know my father? And those coins, aren't they... That's what I thought, too. These must be the coin fames that the legendary King's son has put out of existence. Of course, they were much weaker than the coin fames that are used today. I wanted to ask you questions, so I invited Rodney over to my house. My name is Luke. I'm doing some research in my spare time. So it's Fazz with sideburns. Oh, and there's a young Fazz next to him? Wait a minute. So they knew each other already? Possibly? Right. My name is Rodney. I make my living as a peddler. Please excuse my rudeness, but you don't look like a peddler. Are you not of higher status? As you've guessed, I'm not a peddler. But I don't belong to the upper class either. I'm from the night-wilden town of Carsilius, located in the Arcus Peninsula, near Laudaloo. Carsilius? You mean the town mentioned in the legend of King Sarnas? You're correct, but it is a town and lots of people are from there. This is incredible. Carsilius actually existed. Yes, but the town is protected by a magic ward, which keeps the town undetected. And there's a rule that prohibits those who are born in Carsilius from ever leaving the town until the day of the prophecy. Oh, okay, never mind. And then what made you decide to leave the town and become a peddler? This is my son, Freddy Fazbear. I needed to leave the town in order to raise him. Everybody died from a plague? Only my son and I survived. No, there was one more. Limry? I'm very sorry to hear that. Now, if I may, can I ask you what that coin-lined thing is that you're selling? I've never seen an object so small that can make fire all by itself. Oh, it's one of the abilities that Carsilians possess. It's strictly forbidden to expose this ability to the outside world. To raise my son, I had no other choice. And now there are shops selling them in every town. You know, my research is on the subject of the Ixian legends. Isn't that ability known as coin fame in the legend of King Sarnas? The ability to bind the power of the elemental spirit and use it? I don't know. And I cannot tell you anything else on this matter. I see. Alright, so this is all your dad's fault for trying to sell forbidden knowledge to bring you up in a town that you didn't grow up in? Whatever. It's like that one guy who invented all the pollution. I see. By the way, what are you planning to do from now on? Continue traveling around the continent as a peddler? I don't think it's a good idea to spread that forbidden ability of yours any further, and that kind of lifestyle is not suitable for your child either. If you don't mind, I would like you to remain here and help me with my research. I recently adopted a child who's about the same age as Fazz. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! We lost Elena already, didn't we? Her name is Elena. I'm sure they will get along fine. No! For my son's sake, thank you. I'll accept your offer. Wait, what? Fazz! You grew up with Elena? You didn't recognize her? You thought she was 10? Starting that day, we worked together on researching the Ixian legends. Rodney was very devoted to the study of ancient Ixia. We came to trust and confide in each other. Then one day, he came up to me and apologized for what he had done. Though it was true that he and his child were at a loss, it turned out that he dressed up as a peddler and came to me in order to do research on the legend of King Sarnas. He intentionally showed me coin fames to draw my attention, and hid the fact that his ability was to create coin fames. Because 3,000 years had passed since the pact, it was possible that he was the one to vanquish the ancient spirit as foretold in the prophecy. In order to learn how to accomplish such a feat, he studied the legend of King Sarnas. He also said there was another version of the legend, but he didn't tell me what it was about. He said I wasn't ready for it yet. My kids were going to love it. About a year passed since I first met Rodney. We received news that Valheim employed coin fames to invade Yugo. Did you hear about Valheim's invasion of Yugo? Yes, I did. That's where the Temple of Force is located. Could they be after the Mars Selva and the coin fames that they're using? From what I heard, they're similar to what you showed me before. Luke, I need to tell you something. The coin fames that Valheim used, I'm sure those are identical to what I showed you. And also, I told you before that the people of Cassilius died from a plague, but the truth is, they perished because of coin fames. I see. And so you began selling this to everyone else because you just wanted to spare money. To raise your child, I know. I have to stop them. Coin fames must not be used, or else the prophesied calamity will occur. The ancient spirit will return and engulf the earth in a great calamity. Is that what you're talking about? Do you have any idea what will happen? I don't know. But it has been told among the people of Cassilius for generations. It's just a folk tale, right? I still have to go. I'm responsible for taking coin fame out of Cassilius. I'm glad I met you, Luke. Take care. What are you going to do with Fazz? I'd appreciate if you could look after him for me. He's a Cassilian. If anything should happen to me... All right. Cassilian. The next day, Rodney was gone, and you were gone as well. He probably couldn't bear to leave you. That's my guess, of course. But honestly, I'm so glad that you were safe. So you see, you're the son of Rodney the Cassilian. I later received a letter from your father regarding the legend of King Sarnas, but that was it. I don't know what happened to him, but he strove to fulfill his duty as the Cassilian. Fazz, should you not carry on your father's will? But the prophecy will revolve around you, whether you like it or not. As proof, you have already come in contact with several priests. Fazz, if you are destined to be involved in the legend, is it not better for you to accept your fate? That way you can at least prepare yourself and plan ahead. You're right. But since the use of coin fames in this war is having an immediate effect on Mardius, we should take care of Valheim first. What would you like me to do? I'll give the official notice on the military operation tomorrow. Can you come back then? Yes, Your Majesty. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh no. Fazz, we are ready to take the offensive against the Valheimian Empire. Here is the plan. The main force of the Geraldite army will take back Yugo, advance northwest Valheim, and capture their strongholds. Then, once we join the Night Velden army at the Clear Mountains, we will attack Laeta, the capital of Valheim. What about southern Valheim? If left unattended, Valheim may send troops to the Temple of Water again, and to us as well. That is where I need your help. I would like you to take care of southern Valheim. That region was originally a self-governing state, but was deprived of its autonomy when Valheim launched their invasion. People who live there, especially the Tushi, small tribe that inhabit the Camdel Desert, do not think fondly of Valheim even to this day. If we're able to gain their support and liberate the Camdel Desert, that will allow us to seize control of southern Valheim. I understand. After the liberation of the Camdel Desert, I want you to head for the Sunti Plateau and capture the area. Then we will attack later simultaneously. Combined force of Geralt and Nightfeld from the north and you from the south. It's been said that the Temple of Fire is located somewhere in the Camdel Desert. The individual who's planning to cause the calamity will most likely make a move on the temple, using Valheim's movement against our main force as camouflage. We, the main force, will advance to the north not only to join the Nightwellian army, but to reveal the existence of this individual, our true enemy, by separating its forces from the Valheim and Empire. Army. Sorry. I'm losing it. And we want you to expose what his goal is and prevent him from achieving it. Temple of Fire. Will I have to fight Limri again? What's the matter, Fazz? Oh, I was just thinking... And one more thing. It may turn out that we will lose the battle against the Valheimian army. But if, in fact, our true enemy is planning to cause the prophesied calamity, I want you to expose them to the public, no matter what happens to us. Once you succeed, the people of Valheim should realize that we just stuck together and defeat the... What? Realize that we must work together and defeat the true threat to Marius. I'll do my best, Your Majesty. I don't think you'll lose to Valheim that easily, though. Of course. Oof. Chapter 4. The fate of the Blue Earth. Well, we know the fate of the Blue Earth. Ruined, ruined forever. Oh no.